Life is not what you believe it to be. Do you recall the shape of a sine wave? It is composed of peaks and troughs that recur at regular intervals. A sine wave is a perfect mathematical representation of the life of the average human being. Because the average human being lives his life according to events, he suffers both the rises and the falls, the happiness and the turmoil. And do not make the mistake of believing that happiness and turmoil and pain and pleasure are opposites, for I assure you that they are not. They are very much two sides of the same coin. If you are happy, don't get too excited, for misery is just around the corner. And if you are unhappy, fear not, for happiness is on its way. This is the purgatory of man, to live vacillating between opposite poles of emotion, living in this whilst hoping for that, loving this while hating that, striving for this while receiving that. Now, should it be this way? Yes. Why? Because the events of the world are precisely this. It can be no other way. Some events will be in your favor, while others will be to your detriment, and you'll continue to suffer the friction of both. The question is there a way out? There is a way out, but only for a very specific sort of human being. The human being who sees the sine wave for what it is and cares for it no more. The human being who sees the strings behind the stage. The human being who understands that the events of his life will bring him nothing of any real value or any lasting bliss. When this sort of human being encounters something auspicious, he will likely feel a surge of excitement. But he will immediately recognize that it is from the mind, and thus his excitement will abate. When he encounters something troubling, he will feel his heart drop, but he will immediately recognize that this too is from the mind, and his disappointment will simply vanish. What this human being will begin to understand is that life has nothing to offer him, that nature has structured life in such a way that bliss is available in the most mundane of places. It is available this very moment and nowhere else. That which appears exciting is a charade. That which appears disastrous is as well. We live in a world of shadows and mirages. Nothing is real. Nothing is tangible. Nothing belongs to you. Nothing is under your control. Life is something that is to be lived rather than manufactured. But the living can only happen if we live as a lonely traveler passing through, rather than one who builds his home and settles down within it. You can build your home if you like, but understand that you are building it on shifting sand, and as such, it will one day crumble, and your so-called life will come crashing down. Live your life as a lonely stranger, as a wanderer filled with awe and wonder. Leave everything as you found it, for none of it belongs to you. Let the events happen around you, knowing that none of them are happening to you, and you will live an equanimous life. You live a life without the burden of hope or the weight of despair. In doing this, you'll have known life for what it is and what it is not, and wisdom and equanimity will finally be yours.